Alright, here I am. Yes, good. Is the mic on? Nice. Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Yokikana Anniversary Chess Tournament 2022. Today we'll be having 12 contestants, including me, to win the tournament. But of course, for tournament, of course, the goal is to win. But another thing that you should see is to have fun when we play, chess. What's chess? It's a mental game. It's a game where you have to think critically, where you kind of strategize, position your pieces, everything counts. Yes? So, those who are in the voice chat right now is me and the contestants as well. Welcome Clyde, Danki, Hoshiyima, Joseph, Neko, Safran, Shadow, Zan, and Paji. Thank you so much for coming into the VC. Alright, so without wasting time, let us begin the first game between me and Paji. So I'll be opening my mic as we go along. I'll be the commentator. If you feel like after my game later on, I'll be muting myself on Discord. But of course, you can listen to me commentating the game through my stream, which is I'm streaming on Twitch. Those who are at Twitch, thank you very much for coming. I'll be streaming at Twitch, Akate Riukki. Yes, and Paji. Alright, so we shall begin our match with Paji. So I shall mute myself in Discord. Thank you very much. So to those who want to hear the commentary, you guys may proceed to my Twitch, to the stream. Thank you very much. Right. Wait, you know what? Since I'm the host, I should just open my mic. Alright, so Faji is here. Faji, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Alright, nice. Thank you. Alright, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1 pula. Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we'll wait for Faji to accept. The game has started. We shall wait for Faji to accept our challenge. So to those who are waiting, please open up your chess.com and wait for when you guys are about to play. When you guys are about to play, you have to accept an invitation. Yes. So we'll be waiting for Faji to accept our challenge.
Try use invite link.
You use invite link?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. I can use an invite link. Alright, hold on. Okay, so invite link. Okay, hold on. I think invite link is actually done. Okay, there's the invite link in the gaming chat. I have placed it on the wrong place. Hey, wait, no, I have placed it at the right place. Okay, huh? I faulted a bit. Alright, so let's wait. Okay, I've sent the invite.
ちょっと待って。
Alright. So there are a few technical here. 5 expected, or maybe some small commentating. I think it's alright. I can handle it. No problem. No problem at all. Alright. Eh? No,
Okay,
Neko.
I'm
No,
here.
no. Wait. This is Neko. Neko is not supposed to join. It's supposed to be Faji.
My bad.
It's supposed to be Faji. Alright. Please control you guys. Okay. Please control yourself. Take a
It's
deep breath
fine.
and take a deep breath. Just wait for your time. Right? Wait for your time. Your time will come. For now, it's me versus Faji. Okay. Alright. Okay. Faji. Okay, I put the link in the gaming chat. Um, are you here? Okay, just waiting for Paji to accept. Right. There may be some um, technical difficulties on the other side, but it's alright. You can take this slowly. It's an event that's been announced in a 5-day period. So things like this bound to happen. Accept. Oh, hello. Your game with how do I come on, play with wait. How do I what? Hold on. Somehow it doesn't bring me into the game itself. This is a bit bad. It's bad.
Autobot.
Is the Autobot? Okay, it's alright. If it's Autobot, let's try it one more time. Huh? I'll DM you the link and then we'll go along that way lah. Because it doesn't
Dimash.
come out on my side. Yes. It doesn't come out on my side, which is very bad. Actually.
Yeah, this one be more easier.
Okay.
Okay, I'm here.
Alright, nice. Okay. So
Finally.
we are in. Alright. So the game will start now. Alright, let's go.
Who first?
So I'll go first. The white. Alright. So E4. Okay, so E4 C5. I'll be moving King E2. It's called the King David's opening. But what I'm doing right now is what we call a bomb cloud. So bomb cloud is not necessarily a good opening to begin with. It is actually a meme opening that's been used by the Grandmasters of Chess. Knight F3 from the from the white opposition, while the black is moving Knight H6. So from Knight H6, push out Pawn C3, and from Pawn C3, there is no development of opening yet. So he moved King E7. All right, he moved out King E7. I shall move my pawn to D4. Now here's a trick: will he take it or will he not? because if he takes it, there might be a slight advantage for himself, and he takes it using pawn from e5 to d4, and I will take it using my pawn from c3, and he takes it using his pawn from c5, and I will take it using my queen to d4. Right, so the knight is out for and it is aimed directly towards the queen. However, the queen. So in this strategy, we'll be moving. Okay, there are several options, but I'll be moving my queen to to c5. Queen c5, and it's a check towards 5g. Alright, so now he moved out his pawn. Yes, he moved out his pawn. And let's see, where can we go from here? Now let us move our queen to g5. Let's see what it does on g5. So he moved his pawn up. Since he moved his pawn up, we'll be moving our queen e3. Queen to e3. This is just a turnaround for the queen. Bit of a switcheroo. Of course, positional advantage is not a clear yet. The positional advantage. However, king e1, move back to its original position, and we'll see how we can go here from here onwards. It's actually a lot harder to commentate while playing the game, because what you see on the board is actually what I'll be thinking. So most of the commentating would be biased, which is on me, which is on the white piece. And he had made his move. Brilliant one at that. Brilliant at that. And let us excuse me. Thank you very much. And let us now move our queen to there it is, to b3. Queen b3. From queen b3, we had the king on check position. The king moves to that area, and now we shall be moving our knight to h4, which gives the king another check position. Right, and the knight is moved. No. So from here, the pawn will move up on g3. This could be a potential checkmate. Well, it's a bit eerie to hear that, but it may be a potential checkmate if it can be executed perfectly. And it is not, because he has blocked the check view. Well, not really actually. Right, so from there, what can we do? I don't know why I moved that one there actually.
What do you think?
Alright, there it is. That move, that cost a lot. Right, so we shall take this pawn, take this pawn f5, take pawn f5. moves the knight towards that area. It's bold move. It's a very bold move. Yes. Clever. Now we move. Now we shall be moving our queen to d5. Just to make sure that nothing can go wrong there. Every step of the way, we'll be looking at some potential openings, some potential checkmate positions, and some potential check positions, at which some players say that when you're in check position, you're in big trouble. But the fact that it's only on a check position doesn't mean that you are really in big trouble, because there is always a way to negate whatever that is happening on that spectrum. So move knight c3. Knight c3 is moved because the bishop f5 is threatening the knight. Which means if I left the knight there, knight will be taken, and it won't be a really good value for me. And there you go. That is a check from Baji. However, as I said, a check doesn't mean that everything is you know. I don't know how to commentate already. My brain is scattered all around the place. However, queen take knight f3 and is gaining traction. So this is a bit of a sticky situation for Faji. So pawn h3, pawn h3. This is a bit of a sticky situation for Faji because it's very crowded on the right side of the on the side of the board where the black king, is being pinned down by that. Right, so bishop on that area. Okay. Hey, bishop e2, bishop c5, bishop e2. So both players are moving the bishops. Right, so pawn d4, and I will do a pawn takes knight g4. It's in check position. He takes the pawn using his bishop. I will take the bishop using the queen. So that is a checkmate for
GG.
Against Faji. Thank you, Faji. Thank you, Faji. I've been joining the one. It was a good game. Thank you very much. So that was a bit of a pin. That was a bit of a a blockade move there. So I
GG.
I apologize and thank you very much Paji. Thank you very much for
Good game.
participating, Paji.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was a pleasure playing with you as well.
Yeah.
Alright, so according to the roster then, I Akate moves to the quarterfinals. Alright, so next, contestant is Saffron versus Clyde. Is Saffron and Clyde in here?
Yes, we are.
All right,
Okay.
all right, brilliant. Thank you very much. So
Yeah.
one of you guys and one of you guys can well how do we say this? Okay, so
Invite.
yeah, Clyde and Saffron can invite one another. I will I'll assist you guys. Tell me when you guys are already in the game, alright?
Wait. Challenge link. Is it
Yes.
the one that's the challenge?
Yes. So I hope everything is good. We're looking at the friend list here. We're looking at the friend list here. Okay. Alright, so we have Elfie who has just joined us in our VC here. Thank you very much for joining. Yes. Alright, so now we shall wait for Clyde and Saffron to begin their game. So from here,
The invite link.
alright.
It's in the gaming chat.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the gaming chat.
Nice to meet you, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, nicely done, nicely
I'm
done.
not good at chess.
Alright, so Clyde is playing. Okay, I'll mute myself. Anyone who wants to hear my commentating, please go to Twitch Akate. Thank you very much. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, wait. You guys can start now. Alright, so Clyde starts with pawn b4 and Saffron moves for pawn b5. It's a head-to-head right here. And Clyde moves his knight to a3. And Saffron does the same thing as well. So Saffron is actually imitating what Clyde is doing right now. So Clyde takes the pawn b5. Will Saffron do the same thing? Saffron does the same thing. She took the pawn on b4 using her knight. And now Clyde moves out her knight f3. And let's see what Saffron will. Saffron does the same thing, knight to f6. And from here Clyde moves his pawn to g4. And from g so now let's see what Saffron will be doing. Will she be imitating Clyde's entire movement, or will she have to do another move that will break the chain of? All right, so she takes pawn g4. She takes using a knight g4. There you go. Classic movement there. There's nothing stopping that knight from getting that pawn. That pawn was sitting duck, and now pawn h3, intimidating Saffron's knight right there. That's beauty. That's beautiful right there. We're just gonna put this thing here. We're just gonna wash my hands a little bit. There you go. So Saffron's time has gone down by a minute. You can see. And Clyde still had 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go. He has only lost 40 seconds from this game. Right, Saffron's thinking. She's thinking on what is her next move? What is the best for her? And so as we can see here, Saffron is getting an advantage by a piece, because Saffron has taken two of Clyde's pieces, which are the pawns. and it seems like the game has been abandoned. There may be a technical difficulty right here. We check on it first.
Seth, did you disconnect?
Yeah, Suffren disconnected. It's okay. We can have a rematch, right? We can have a rematch. We're going to make this one fair. All right. Thank you very much. So Saffron is having a bit of a technical difficulty. We'll do a bit of a check. We'll do a bit of a check here. Okay. So all right. Wait. Hey, Nandi. Wait. Is that out? Wow. That's alright. Okay. I apologize. There is a bit of a technical difficulty on my side as well. So if you want to watch, to anyone who wants to watch the stream, I've put the thingy in the thingy. Yes. So we shall wait for Saffron first. If Saffron is having a difficulty on Wi-Fi, perhaps. And if this, hold on, let's try and call her out. All right. So it seems like Saffron is offline for the moment. It seems like Saffron is offline for a moment. The next one would be Elfie versus Hoshima, but seems like Elfie just went out as well. So will it be fine if we have? Oh, Zan is not here as well. Okay, okay, Zan is not here as well. And Joseph is here. Okay, is Kuya here? Kuya is not here as well. Okay. Shadow and Nat is here.
Oh no.
Can we call Zan and Elfie and the others?
We will wait for them first. Hold on. My internet.
You okay?
Okay, right. Okay, Safran's okay. Safran's back. Okay, so Safran's internet has died. It's all right. We're having a rematch. Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, wait. Rematch.
We'll be having a rematch here. No, not a problem. No problem. Just stay calm, stay cool. All right. We're having a rematch. If technical difficulty ensues, then we have a rematch. Right. So no, it's not a problem. It's not a problem.
It's okay.
Yeah, it is all right. Now we wait for them. Now we wait for them to settle on to their links. Right. Thank you very much. It's okay.
Hello.
Okay, please. As usual, please inform if you guys already start playing. Yes, thank you very much. A bit of a technical difficulty going on around this area, but it is all right because technical difficulties are what we always find and see when we're trying to do an event. So it's okay. Everything's cool. Yes.
Up your first move.
Alright, so Clyde's playing ready? Alright, that is. Okay, let's go
Yes.
watch. Alright, thank you very much. Okay, I will shut up. I will shut up. Okay. Alright, so here we are. Alright, so they've moved. It's a king pawn's opening, a hippopotamus defense from Clyde. So Clyde has moved to h6 and Suffren moved her knight to h3. Okay, Clyde moves his pawn to f6, and initially Saffron starts with a king's opening in e4, and now Saffron is moving her pawn to d3. And this is a solid opening right here. All right, so Clyde has moved his pawn to g5. So there it is. There is some. There I can see a bit of a defense happening on Clyde's side. and see a bit of progress happening on Saffron's side. So this is going to be interesting. As Saffron moves pawn to g4, and Clyde moves his rook to g8. That is to increase the advantage on the g line. So as you can see here, the g line, the rook is able to manipulate the g line. Now the knight is moved by Saffron to a3, knight a3, knight c6 by Clyde, knight c6 by Clyde towards the middle, while Saffron moves her knight to the side. And now the difference between having a knight in the middle and the knight to the side is that having a knight in the middle means that you are attacking, while knight on the side means that you're resting your knight. So your knight will have limited movement. The knight will have some limited movements when you put knights on the side. And now, okay, Saffron moves back her knight to g1, back to its original position. Let's see. Clyde moves his pawn to a5. All right. Interesting moves. That's a very interesting move. And let us see the next move. Yes. Right. Saffron moves her pawn to b3. It's a one-step move. Fun fact: pawns can move up to 2 boxes. Alright, knight e5. Right. Back on the pawns. Pawns have the right to move either one place or 2 places. That depends on what the player wants the pawns to do. So now that's a knight e5. It's amazing to see a knight be in the middle of the battlefield right here. None of the contestants are taking pieces. There are numbers next to Clyde and Saffron, but we ignore those numbers because those are the numbers that determine someone won the first round, someone won the second round, Alright, who is this? Please ignore the bot on the chat there. Ewald, please ignore those bots. Yes, thank you very much. So pawn d4 by Saffron and Clyde just took a piece. Knight g4. That's a very big move right there. Big move right there. That's a big move from Clyde. Okay. Now we shall wait. So Clyde has an advantage of 1 piece. 1 piece. Remember, a piece makes a difference. Yes. So from here we can see lots going on, lots riding on to this. So Saffron moves her bishop to c4. That is a good move to strengthen her defense. Rook to g7 by Clyde. Yes, that is an interesting move as well. Rook to g7. It's actually considered a waste move, but we have to be optimistic to their judgment. Yes. So pawn f3. Pawn f3. That has secured the position of the king right there, and the queen is not jeopardized by the knight. You can see right there. Few fixes. If Saffron were to decide to do castling, she should consider on doing castling on the left side. Oh, knight e3. That is a mistake of a move, I would say, because the knight is not protected by anything, and that bishop right there, that bishop on c1, can just take knight out. Oh, and Saffron decided to not take the knight, but instead moves the queen to e2. So now the knight has had the chance to take bishop on c4. There it is. Just took the bishop on c4. Knight took bishop on c4. And what will Saffron do now? Will Saffron take it? Will Saffron take the knight using the knight on a3? Oh no, Saffron takes the knight using the queen. So now the queen is on c4. bit of an intense moment for a commentator. I feel like I'm commentating a football match when it's not really a football match. So pawn e5 by Clyde right there is advancing his pawn to 2 places. That threatens Saffron's pawn d4. However, if Saffron were to take it, it would be an equal move, I'd say, because if the pawn takes, if d4 takes e5, then f6 can take e5, and it's still equal. All right, so there it is. Saffron has decided to take pawn to e5. Equalizing that thing, and bishop just swiped the knight, bishop a3, and now bishop a3 from Saffron. Such that is that is a very, very, very amazing counter from Saffron herself. Well done. And now knight moves to f7. The position of the pawn is compromised. Will Saffron move and attack the next pawn, or will she wait for the pawn? Or will she wait? Or will she move the pawn to the front? We'll see how this unravel here, yes? I see no advantage around. Everyone is having... Alright, so the pawn takes f6. Now, that pawn is being targeted by Clyde's queen. However, Clyde moves his rook to g6. This is a battle of centuries. So Saffron moves her pawn e5, right there. That took no time to decide. Right, so knight takes pawn on e5, and now the queen is in danger. Saffron's queen is in danger on because of the knight. If I were to be Saffron, I would be moving the queen to e4. I'll be moving queen e4 because having queen to e4 would strengthen. Oh, Saffron move. Oh, that is a mistake. Saffron has moved the queen to f4. Now that pawn can take that queen, and if Clyde, that would be a huge disadvantage for Saffron, because that is a big blunder. That is a big blunder, and he does not see it. Clyde does not see that the pawn is threatening the queen. That is amazing. Knight c6 right there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the doors are open for Clyde to swoop in. Sorry, not Clyde, but Saffron. If Saffron were to move, yes, and Saffron did move the queen to e4, checking Clyde's king. Alright. Apologies on that weird tone right there, yes. So from here, what will Saffron be doing? So king f7, because that is the only legal move that they can do. It's the only legal move that they can do. That is big segue there. So queen check, queen c4 checks the king once again, and now the king can 100% take the pawn if he will. Alright, so the king indeed took the pawn on f6, so this made Clyde to be on advantage by 1 piece. What shall Saffron be doing next then? Alright, so Saffron moves e2. So Saffron moves to e2. Alright, let me just. There we go. Thank you very much, Joseph, for the ban. Ban suggestion. So knight e2, knight e5. The knight threatens the queen again. Once again, the knight threatens the queen. This is this is a lot. This is a lot to take in.
Okay.
And we heard a bit of elfie noises right there. Alright, so now this is going to make them think, right? So Saffron right here is actually having her time very low. She's at a very low time. She only had 2 minutes and 26 seconds to spare, while Clyde has the full 6 minutes on him, if not less. So let's see how they will do. See how they do. So Clyde pushes his pawn to d6. That would strengthen the position of the queen right there. Right. So queen position strengthened. That is a big deal there. Queen position strengthened there. Let us see here, yes. And let us do a bit of a suggestion here. So Saffron could Saffron castles, right? That is an odd move. Saffron castles. However, the position that Saffron has on the right side, on the left side of the board, is actually powerful because the 3 pawns are aligned very well for defense. And so now, if I were to be Clyde, I will be moving the bishop to f5. And with the bishop to f5, Saffron will have to do a bit of a tinkering. It's alright. Saffron did, Clyde did move the bishop, but to h3 instead. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm not fit to be a commentator, but you know what? Nah. I love this job. And so bishop h3, bold move from Clyde. Let's see what Saffron has got in her bag. Yes. Seems like Saffron only has a minute and 15 seconds left. A minute and 15 seconds left. That is a very short time to be thinking on a lot of strategies, unless you're a bullet pro. And Saffron moves her bishop to b2, bishop b2. Okay, bishop b2, rook a6 from Clyde. It's a rook a6 from Clyde. It sounds like I'm commentating something very weird. Alright, so there we go. Now let us see once again how and where this competition will. And Saffron has less than 30 seconds to act. Saffron has less than 30 seconds to act. Now, to remind everyone again, each participant have 10 minutes on one game. So each of them have 10 minutes. So the game in total should not be above 20 seconds. So Saffron has moved pawn to f4 and Clyde has taken the pawn. And now Saffron takes the pawn using a knight, f4, and Saffron has less than 10 seconds left to work on this incredible journey. Right, so now Clyde is thinking, how is he going to deny a check or something from this man right here? Right, so Clyde moves his queen to g8, and now Saffron has 3, 2, 1. And Saffron has run out of time. And Clyde won the game. Clyde won the match on time. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end between Clyde and Saffron. Clyde has won by time. So congratulations, Clyde. You have moved to the next level. So Clyde has moved. Congratulations, and thank you, Saffron, for playing. Thank you, Saffron, for joining the game. Yes.
Thanks for the game.
Yes, thank you. You both did amazingly well. I can
The
see you
game.
both. I can see you.
I hope you win,
Jojo and
dude.
everything.
GG.
Thank you. GG. Thank you very much. That's all right. So our next event, the next game would be between Hoshima and Elfie. Hoshima and Elfie, please step forward. Oh, Elfie's gone. Alright, Elfie is gone. Alright. So where is Elfie? Elfie's off, right? Alright, where is okay, alright. She's missing. Okay, Elfie, where is okay. Okay, Elfie. Alright, next game. Next game is Hoshima versus Elfie. I am vengeance. Alright, so a bit of the one here. Alright, so a bit of a thing going on around here, yes. So let us search for Elfie's name in the thing. Alright, Elfie Chanero. Okay.
Yeah, I bet I need to reset my Discord. Sorry.
Alright. No problem. Okay, there you go. So we have requested a friend on Elfie. Elfie, please. Oh, Hoshima, please. Add Elfie to your friend list. Wait there. Okay, no problem. Okay, so please accept. Thank you very much, everyone who is in the chat to be that one. No. It's Elfie Chanero. Elfie Chanero is her IGN. Alright, so again, thank you very much. Those who are on chat, thank you very much for watching this event that is happening right now on Yokikana anniversary on the Yokikana server. As this event is live right now, it is live, and we're having a lot of beautiful participants here who are willing to have some good times to be playing against one another. Yes. So now we are waiting for Elfie and Hoshima. We're waiting for Elfie and Hoshima. Alright, so it seems like towards our gatherings, Hoshima has accepted Elfie's friend request. So now we'll proceed to our friends list and we'll see.
Yahoo!
Hello, welcome Elfie. Alright, so okay, so Hoshima, can you invite Elfie instead?
How?
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so
Oh, already.
ready? Alright, so
Yeah,
okay, whoever one of you check my
already.
that one. Okay, great. Right, so oh, she didn't accept. Okay.
Yeah, we can talk or no?
Um. I guess not. usually people don't
Oh.
talk in a chess game. But if you
Oh.
feel like you want to talk, yeah, sure, no problem. But that would add a psychological effect on the other contestant. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
because chess also actually on real life chess also involves on having a psychological effect against the player against you. So if you could do
Okay.
any movement or something, yeah, you know. Should I say it to 5 or 10? Please set it on 10 minutes, Hoshima. Thank you very much.
Minutes.
Yes, please set it on 10 minutes, Hoshima.
Where?
You went to chess.com already, Elfie?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, you wait for Hoshima to send an invite link in the chess tournament thread, and then you just click on the link, and then you guys can play already.
Okay.
Right, brilliant. So this game will be Hoshima against our Mistress Elfie. The
Let's go.
the main character for the Yokikana server.
She's vengeance.
Vengeance.
Yes, she's vengeance.
Yeah.
I sent the invite already.
Okay.
Hoshima sent the invite in gaming chat. Is it? Is it gaming chat?
Gaming
No?
chat.
Where is it? Or is it on DMs?
Where did you send it, Heshima? Is it on message?
Could be on message.
Oh my yeah.
Hoshima.
Where?
Hold on. Let me just check
I sent the invite. Check your inbox.
Inbox on
it would be possible if you can send. Oh, okay. Inbox in chess.com. You mean?
inbox. ちょっと、oh, this message? Oh,
Okay.
Eh.
So I just want to know, are you guys in the game already?
No, I didn't receive any.
It's alright. Hoshima, you can put it in the gaming chat, the link, the invite link on the gaming
Yeah.
chat. Thank you very
Let me
much.
try sending one.
Yeah.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty right now. This is normal. There's no need to worry. This is literally a normal thing right now.
Oh my god.
This is so normal to have such thing. But it is alright actually. How are you feeling today, Elfie? I hope you're having a good day.
Yeah, I feel in a good day. Effie is waku waku.
Brilliant, Waku Waku indeed.
Yeah.
Excited to have this match on the way.
Yeah.
Right. And now we wait for Hoshima to have the link uploaded on the gaming chat or on the thread.
Yeah. Yeah.
And send gaming chat, right?
Yes.
Did gaming
Okay.
chat? Yeah.
Okay, Hoshima.
Yeah, but I need to restart my PC.
Alright.
Good luck. 네.
Okay, we shall wait for Hoshima first. And so now now we have we already had results for the upcoming for tomorrow's game. We'll be having myself against Clyde on the quarterfinals.
Wow.
To decide who will be going for the semifinals. Yes.
Let's go.
And now we shall wait for Hoshima and Elfie to be playing.
Yeah.
And this will take some time. No problem. Should be fine. I hope everyone would hang tight. Alright, there we have it. is
Oh.
the link right there. The link is out.
Oh, it's here.
Yes. Click on the link. Yes.
Yeah, I'm loading.
All right. Great. So I'm going to check on.
Oh, like this? Okay.
Okay. So you guys are in already, right? All right. So now you guys can start. I'll mute myself on Discord.
Am I starting?
Yeah. You guys start.
Oh. Oh.
All right.
Eh. Oh.
Okay. Oh, why am I muted? Okay. So now the game has begun between Hoshima and Elfie. So Elfie has moved for a b3. Hoshima moved his pawn to e5. This is a Nimzo attack from Elfie, moving pawns to f3. This is a very good position right here for Elfie. Hoshima, however, moving out the knight to c6. That is an attacking position from Hoshima. Usually in chess, so Elfie has moved the knight to c3. That is a defensive position. So usually the white pieces would be the attacking, the offensive, and the black pieces would be the defending. Will be in the defense position. So Shima moved pawn f6, Elfie moved pawn g3, and now Hoshima's queen has moved to e7. Elfie's knight has moved to h3, which is on the corner of the board, and Hoshima moved pawn to f5. Brilliant move right here from both participants. Elfie moved b4. That is alright. That is a move, and now Hoshima takes the pawn using his knight. Hoshima is in the lead by 1 piece. Hoshima has some time of 920-ish seconds, and Elfie is not really that far off from the time. So I'm thinking this is a good opportunity there. So Elfie moves pawn to a3, threatening the knight. The knight moves back, c6, back to its original position. Now we shall see again how this will turn out to be. This is going to be a very interesting fight. So pawn e3, pawn f4 from both sides of the team. I mean, from both sides of the playing field. So there is a bit of a competition going on that part of the grid. So now pawn f4. So pawn f4, pawn f4, and it is a check. It is a check against Elfie right there. The king is exposed. Elfie moved the knight to e4. The knight is protecting the king from being checked. Hoshima moves his king. His knight to d4. Elfie threatens the knight skillfully on c3 right there. That is a good move. However, Hoshima moves that knight towards f3. Elfie can take that knight right there using her queen. Drink water, my boy. I will. Thank you very much. All right. So Elfie has taken the knight. Queen f3. Repeat. Queen f3. Hoshima moves the pawn to g5. Oh, that is a big mistake from Elfie right there, taking the pawn to f4. Now the pawn takes the knight to f4, and now that pawn, another pawn takes that pawn on f4, and now Hoshima moves another pawn to c5. Just gonna grind on the pawn game right there, and we'll see how this thing goes. If Elfie were to know, Elfie could have moved the queen towards h5, but no, Elfie moved the bishop towards e2, and now the queen is threatening Elfie's king on h4. The outcome would be a lot. There is a lot going on through this thing here. A lot going on through here. We'll see how it goes. Yes, we'll see how it goes. This is going to be an interesting match. Thank you everyone who had come to watch the tournament, the Yokikana Anniversary Chess Tournament, and now Queen F2 from Elfie. That is a bold move from Elfie to move the queen, sacrificing the queen. The Hoshima's queen takes the gamble, and now Elfie took the queen using her king instead of her knight. It is a very interesting decision right there. As now the rook moves out to h7, king moves back to its original position because the Hoshima pawn has moved to h5. Now Elfie's pawn has moved to h3. The rook moves to g7. Pawn moves. Elfie's pawn move on a4. And what shall the next tactic be? This area. Both are equal on piece gathering. Elfie is slightly below the time there. See, so pawn b6, pawn a5 takes a5. The rook takes a5. The pawn a5. That pawn right there is very much. Alright, so Hoshima moves that to b8. Moves rook to b8. That one moves there. Ooh, that is a big of a pickle there. It's a bit. That is a big that one there. So the rook has checked the king b1 on position b1. The king is there. There is a lot going on around here. Right, Elfie defends the king using the bishop d1. Hoshima moves his piece, his pawn piece, to c4. c4, I tell you. And now, as we speak, both bishops are having a big standoff right here. Both bishops. And Elfie decided to move the rook towards f1. The bishop is having... Oh, and he also moved the rook to f7. Hoshima moved the rook to f7. It's interesting. Indeed, this. It's interesting this whole thing to be unfold in front of your eyes. If Elfie would do that. Alright, so pawn h4, the bishop takes the other bishop on a3. If Elfie would see that, she could actually move the knight towards d6 and to pin 3, the bishop, the king, and the rook. And Elfie has decided to move the pawn to d6, rook towards f4, takes the pawn, and now the rook takes that. Now the rook takes the other rook on f4. It's amazing to see such a development in a very short time. The king moves e7. There is the rook on the side. Oh, there we go. There we go. f6. Knight f6, and knight takes it. f6 again. f6. Knight takes a knight on f6. This is. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit confusing. The composition is a little bit confusing. However, the spirit that they have to fight. Oh, that is a blunder from Miss Elfie. Rook. Oh, and he does not see it. Hoshima does not see that he could take the rook using his knight. And king towards f7. King towards f7. Oh, this is a big move there. There it is. Oh, risky move. Rook to e7 and king to e7, taking out that rook right there, just like that. There is no salvaging that. So what will Elfie do? Elfie moves her pawn to d5, knowing that the bishop down there is free food. He could also check the king, as I predicted. Elfie uses the rook to check the king, takes the pawn a7, and now with the king occupied, with the king moving to f8, Elfie can take that bishop down there. However, Elfie moves the rook towards g7, and now the rook is gone. So the king has taken the rook g7. Oh, such wonders can be done in such a short time. And Elfie moves the king towards f2, leaving the bishop vulnerable towards any incoming attacks. Hoshiyama is able to give Elfie a checkmate. However, Hoshiyama moves bishop d7, Elfie bishop to e2, giving sympathy perhaps towards Elfie. Right, knight takes d5, pawn on d5. That pawn on c3 is a sitting duck, and Elfie takes the pawn c4, and as I thought, the knight takes the pawn on c3. This has been a bit of a roller coaster here. King g3. King g3, pawn d5. d5, bishop e2 from Elfie, bishop e2 from Elfie. Alright. And that is the bishop d6 from Hoshiyama. It's a check. Elfie moves to f2. Hoshiyama rook b4. Interesting. There is no harm in taking the knight. So bishop takes the pawn, the rook takes the pawn on h5 and h4 respectively. Okay. History is ruthless. History is ruthless indeed. Yes. History is ruthless indeed on this game, as Elfie only had a bishop to work with. There are no pawns for her to work with. Elfie's time is at 2 minutes. She has 2 minutes. So bishop f3, knight d1 checks the king. The king moves to g2. Pawn moves to the front, d4. Amazing this is. Alright, bishop takes that bishop to on d1. Pawn moves to d3. It's moving towards the edge and it's promoting the pawn attempts to promote. Bishop f5. Bishop f3. Pawn d2. Now bishop e2 by Elfie. We're looking at something here. Something is about to be developed. Right, rook f4 right there. Rook moving towards f4. And what will Elfie do? Elfie has less than 2 minutes to work with, while Hoshiyama has more than 5 minutes to work on this strategic display here. Bishop h5, the pawn cannot go for promotion because the bishop is safeguarding the position. Rook a4, king f3. Oh, there it is. The king has blocked the bishop's side, and now the queen. Now the pawn is free to promote itself to a queen, and now the pawn has become the queen on d1. Elfie right now is in a pinch. King to e3, moving towards the queen, and now a queen b3, king e2, rook a2, and the definite winner is definitely Hoshiyama. And that is king e1, queen d1. Oh, that is a mistake from Oshima. This is going to be a bit of a big move here. This is going to be a bit of a big brain move right here. So rook a1, king d2, bishop f4, king d3, bishop f5. So many things going along here. Rook d4, king d4, rook a4. King just moving up. The king does not lose. King d5. Somewhere or another, Hoshima must pin that king. And rook a5, king c6. King moving towards the rook. King e4 right there. King e4. Bishop e4. King d7. Rook a6. Rook a6. That is the move. That is big. So king e7. Moving towards there. Alright, so that is a check from the rook a7. And king e8. Elfie has right about 30 seconds to work with. Bishop c6. Will Hoshima be able to give Elfie a checkmate before she run out of time? So that's king d8 and a rook a8. Now king goes to e7 again. And let's see what will Hoshima think. Alright, so bishop g5. Yes, Elfie is that I'm going to be solo. Yes, indeed. Elfie is going solo on the king. She's rapid firing the king, going everywhere on the board. King d6, bishop e4 right there. King e6, rook a6. Trying all his best, Hoshima trying all his best, all his might to check Elfie. But Elfie just managed to run away every single time. King d7, bishop f5. Elfie having her time at 7. King e8, bishop g6. And will Elfie run out of time? Elfie is now at 2 seconds. King d7, rook a7. And here we have the winners. Congratulations, Hitsuri, for winning the game. Thank you very much, Elfie, for joining the first one. So here, as we can see, Hoshima has won by time. So Hoshima did not checkmate. Did not give Elfie a checkmate. He won by time. So congratulations,
He's
Hoshima.
ruthless. God dang.
You will be moving towards the quarterfinal tomorrow. Congratulations, and thank you, Elfie, for joining and playing together with Hoshima. All right, thank you very much. You too. Thank you very much, Hoshima and Elfie, for the interesting representation of chess. Next up, we'll be having Zan versus Joseph.
Yo.
Zan versus Joseph. So Zan, where is Zan? Alright, now.
Wait, he offline?
He's offline.
Zan. Hold on.
Do we ping?
Hold on. Let me do the pinging. Alright, no.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
I'm along now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for everyone's patience. So, the list on the quarterfinals for tomorrow, or maybe if we want to be today, who knows? will be myself, Akate, Clyde, and Hiroshima. So we have 3 of them. Now we have another 3. Who will be the next? Who will be the next person to enter the quarterfinals?
Okay.
Alright, so Zan is now here. We shall be waiting. So, Joseph, will you be the one, since you are on VC right now? How are you doing? How are you feeling right now?
I am feeling great, actually. I just felt sad for Elfie.
I see, that is interesting.
Uh,
So we
she was
we have,
running with the one king.
so we have spoken behind the camera a bit. So you have been going on a chess tournament for three times now, have you?
Yeah, I went to an actual chess tournament for 3 times.
That is very interesting. So tell me, what are your experience that you gathered during your tournament times, if you can still remember?
Actually, okay, I remember playing on my first tournament ever. I was super nervous to the point that the what was it? The referee saw me was shaking. He thought that I was not okay. But I managed to win 2 games and got the second place on the first tournament. So, yeah. And the rest too, it was the same thing. I was just getting the second place. So I really want to win this because I never ever got first place on a chess tournament. So I will try my best.
This is going to be an interesting turn up for you if you were actually getting first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll be happy.
yeah, he would be a happy man, and so will the other participants if you guys manage to get the first, because there can only be one winner in this chess tournament
Yes.
here. Of course, winning is what we see, but let's not forget that we also wanted to have fun and just be cheery during our times in this tournament here, yeah? And so,
Mm-hmm.
we're waiting for Zan to enter the VC. Alright. So we'll be waiting for Zan to enter the VC. So if you don't mind, Joseph, if you
Yes.
can give Zan the link, the chess link,
Oh,
probably.
yeah, sure.
Zan, no, because
Here.
Zan is online on chess.com,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not on VC. Perhaps he's a bit shy in the VC. Who knows, right?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, register.
Wait.
All right, so
Did
all
I
right,
send
so
the
Zan.
right link?
No, that's not the right link.
Oh,
I mean a
sorry.
link to link by
Challenge
mistake.
link.
Is that
Sorry.
okay? Right. So
Yeah, I know. Been a
Sitrep
while.
Sitrep Zan is already in the VC. Yeah, it's all right. It's okay if you can't speak. All right. So
Yes,
okay.
it's fine.
So yes, please Zan, if you would please click on that link that Joseph gave you in the gaming chat.
Okay, he's in.
Alright, so you guys are in. Alright, so I'll be muting myself now and I'll be commentating on my channel. Thank you very much.
Okay.
You guys can start playing now. Thank you.
Okay. I will
Alright.
start playing.
Alright, and here we are witnessing Joseph versus Zan. Starting off with Zan on the C3, the Saragossa opening. It is a very weird name, I would say. It's Saragossa opening, and Joseph responded with pawn b6. And Zane thinking what his next move would be. So it's a pawn g3. Joseph moves bishop b7. That is a standard defense position in chess. Pawn c3, bishop. Pawn b6, bishop b7, and next would be knight c6. The standard defense for the black pieces. So now it's pawn f3, and I am wrong. as Joseph chose to go for a pawn c6 there. Woohoo! This is big. So the knight a3. So knight moves to a3. Pawn g6. Again, pawn g6. Knight a3 from Zan and pawn g6 from Joseph. Joseph, confident in his skills of playing chess. 3 turns turn out on the chess tournament 3 times. And is able to get second place. Who knew we might have a chess champion already in the Yokikana server? So pawn d4 from Zan and a counter of pawn b5 from Joseph. That is a huge opening on that side of Joseph, and as we witness bishop h3 and pawn e6. So pawn e6 from Joseph, protecting the bishop. This might look like a rectang of some weird things, but having pawns to be arranged diagonally is actually a good way to protect each other's pawns. Right, so pawn e6 and pawn e3 and pawn a6. So if we're looking at Zan's layout here, so okay, pawn f4. So as we can see on Zan's layout and Joseph's layout, their layouts are right about the same. It's just that Zan's layout is made of an M. And now Joseph moves and approaches Zan's d4 pawn right there. So that's pawn c5. And Zenny takes the pawn c5. Did not see that bishop on b7 of Joseph, takes and swoops the rook on h1 of Zan's. Such a turn of events right there. It's very quick. Not even I saw that coming. I didn't even see that coming. It's interesting to see that trying to keep up on these things, having to think of strategy, openings, and everything, and all those times. Is interest fight? Wait, hold on. It's fight. Huh? Alright, so we're having a bit of a thing here. So that it's 5 minutes. The game is on 5 minutes. Really, I did not see. My apologies. I was on my. That was on my fault. That was on my fault. Oh no. Right, so if Joseph is able to checkmate Zanny on the short time frame, then we could let this pass. But if Joseph were to win against Zanny on time, then we will have to forfeit this game. Right here, right? We cannot stop them midway. That would be rude for the chess players, for the contestants. Right, so where have we've been left with? There are lots of movements going about using the big pieces. So the pawn has moved pawn b4 there. There's a pawn b4. It is unlikely for Joseph to gain advantage against Zanny here. So bishop d6, bishop d6, queen d4. Queen d4 threatening the bishop right there, and is actually having a highway towards the rook. It's a highway towards the rook. Right, so pawn f5. There you go. Takes the rook. Equalizing on the It is equalized. Man, this is big. It is big. So pawn e5, right there. That's a pawn e5, and queen g8, moving the king down. That is king e7. If the queen would move yes to h7, the king is in jeopardy right now, having a bit of a hard time there. Yes, a hard time. King e8. What will Zenny do now? Ooh, a queen g6. There's a queen g6 from Zenny. The king e7. King e7 from bold. Very bold. Yeah, this is a bold decision here. In German, this is a very bold decision. Alright. So king e7, bishop takes, pawn on f5. Such turn of events there. So bishop takes f5, queen takes the bishop on f5. No time wasted on that. And e4, f4. Pawn f4. Queen e4. Check. It's a check. Moving the king away right there. Yes. Moving the king towards king f7, queen f5. King e7. King e7. Pawn f4. c6, knight c6. This is getting heated so fast. However, the timing was off. So we have to call this a forfeit. This is gonna be sad because it has to be called a forfeit. Alright, oh my goodness, there it is. Movements, rapid movements from Zenny right there. Rapid movement from Zenny. Moving towards e2. There it is. Alright, e4. Taking that. Takes that. And time. Hold on.
GG.
Wait.
That
Hold
was
on. Wait, hold on. No, the time was 5 minutes. It was not 10.
we do it again.
Yes, you guys have to do it again because the time was
Okay.
yeah, because the time was 5 minutes. It was not 10 minutes. Okay?
Fine.
So you guys have to do it again. I cannot stop you guys in the middle just now because you guys were having an intense fight. I can see what's going on
I was
around
just
there
playing
just
with
now.
time.
That was an amazing fight. But now you guys have to play on
Okay.
10 minutes instead of 5. Joseph, you know how to change the time?
Time. Yeah.
When you
I think so. Yeah.
before you invite someone, you change the time from 5 minutes to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Alright.
Just give me.
It's okay. Now that you guys know who you're dealing with. That is like a practice round, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, that was a very, very nice
10 minutes, right?
that was a very nice 10 minutes. 5 minutes each person.
5.
That is it.
Yeah.
No, I mean 10 minutes each person. 10 minutes each person.
Okay. Here you go, Zen. Let's go again.
Alright. I'll be delegating. Let me just delegate it properly this time. Let me just see. Just making sure that the time is at 10. Alright, let me just check. Alright, the time is at 10. Yes, the time is at 10. So you guys can start now. Thank you. Alright, here again, second time. Alright, so Joseph moves with pawn g3. It's a king fianchetto opening. A king. Alright. Pawn g3, pawn b5, bishop g2, pawn c6, pawn f4, and knight a6. And a pawn e3. But I'm also to focus on the match. Yeah, that is correct, ladies and gentlemen. That is correct. The match was so good that we didn't even look at the time itself. The time is very important in chess. Because if you ran out of time just like just now, you lose championship because of that. And thank you very much for notifying the time, because I was not aware of the time just now. Apologies, and that is my failure as the organizer itself. But let us now focus on the game here. We have a lot of movements of pawns on Zan's side, and we have a lot of big piece movements on Joseph's side. The knight and the bishop has seemed to move. The knight moved to e2, and Zani has only moved one knight out of its comfort zone. As we see that the middle has not been contested yet. Knight f6 from Zan. Now the knight has come out, and it is contesting the middle. And Joseph gave a good switcheroo, a good castle right there. Knight looking for an opportunity to attack. The knight moves to g4. There's a very aggressive knight right there for a defense position. There. And bishop towards f3, threatening the knight. And now pawn to f5. Bold. That's bold. Alright. So pawn h3. Pawn h3. Knight h2. Oh, that is a mistake from Zan. As Joseph just takes the free knight there. So king h2 against the knight. Knight has no way to go else. Period. For the rest of the knight. Knight could actually move towards f6 instead. However, he chose to move knight towards h2, and now it became the prey for the king. And the pawn has now moved towards g4, moving that one. Oh, and it's a check. It's an involuntary check. Oh, right. And king towards g2. Zan can actually take that bishop right there using the pawn. But he doesn't. That would affect. Yep, that bishop takes the pawn. That affects the whole play of this game, because Zan has the ability to balance the playing field. However, Zan just didn't see it, and he wasn't able to balance the playing field because of that. And that is very sad actually. Zan moves out his queen. That is a bold move. Queen to f6 there. Queen to f6 then. And I'm guessing moving swiftly. Yep, the bishop retreats. So you see what's going to happen next. That area, this Joseph's area here, is very well protected, because no matter where they're aiming at, they are very, very well protected. This pawn right here is very well protected. Not only that they're guarded by two pawns, but also a knight and potentially a rook if this bishop goes away. Zani, however, is having a structure, a very nice structure of pawns. I haven't pulled out a lot of its troops yet, and now the bishop is out. Bishop c5 there. Then bishop c5 then, and pawn, Joseph's pawn has been pushed to b4 to have an advantage against. And if Joseph is not careful, he might be trapped. Zani didn't see it, but from what I see, if the bishop sacrifices itself, knight takes, and that pawn on c3 takes it, the queen can actually swoop towards the rook on a1. That would be a big game changer for Zan. However, Zan moves. the pawn to Zan moves the bishop to b6, and now Joseph moves his pawn to a3, just strengthening the position right there. Rook towards b5. Zane did not see that coming. The bishop snipes the rook on h5. That will have to be a very big blow towards Zane right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Zane would need a lot of courage, a lot of thinking to recover from this situation here. As we can see, time for Zane is running out far from Joseph. Joseph has less than 8 minutes to work on, and Zane has less than 6 minutes to work on. Queen h6, rook h1. So the bishop is an element, a tool to lure that queen to insecure, to a very insecure position. Pawn d5 by Zan, strengthening the position of the pawns on that side. Now the queen is exposed as bishop f3 right there. Zan will have to move the queen away. Zan moves the queen towards g6. This is going to be very hard to determine. It's going to be very hard to see. The queen to g6. Zan is doing pretty well until the loss of 9 pieces. Joseph has had the 9-piece advantage against Zan. So pawn d4, king e7. That is a big move right there. King e7. So what I can visualize from here is that Zane is trying to do a squish movement, probably, in the king. And pawn g4, bishop d7 right there. Bishop d7. And queen e1. Queen moving to the back. The queen is going to move. Joseph's queen is preparing an attack on h4 to check that king. Zan's king on position e7. Zan will have a lot to think about how to avoid such things to happen on him. So king d6 then. King d6 then. If I were to be Zani, I would be moving the queen to c2. And when Joseph moves the queen towards h4, checking the king can move somewhere else. And the queen will have a lot of time to thinking about their life choices down here. And knight d2, rook g8. Yes, it's rook g8 then. Rook g8. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of that's a lot of development right there. And pawn g5, ballsy pawn right there, moving towards g5. However, that is a very good position to strengthen your pawn movement. So you can see Joseph's pawns had been moving diagonally, step by step along the way, the same as Zani. And goodness me, this is a great game to begin with. This is a great game to begin with. This is going to be the greatest showdown we've ever seen in this match. Hands down. Hands down, it's going to be the greatest chess match. Yes. So pawn c5. So pawn c5 from Zan. Pawn c5 from Zan, and ooh, it it's a check. The pawn takes. Joseph's pawn takes that pawn who advanced c5, and the bishop takes it. Bishop c5. This is a very ballsy move there. And of course the pawn takes it. The pawn takes the bishop. The knight takes the pawn. However, the balance of pieces, Joseph has an 11-piece advantage against Zani. So rook b1, threatening the pawn on position b5. Knight d3, threatening the queen on who is previously on e1, now moved to d1. Yep, that pawn is vulnerable, but there is that bishop right there protecting that pawn. If Joseph don't see it, he might be trapped by it. And now pawn f6 there. Pawn f6 then, and knight d4. Right, pawn takes g5. Pawn takes pawn g5. Knight moves to b5. Yes. And the bishop and the knight. I mean, oh, I apologize. My apologies. The knight is checking the king on b5. Knight, king moves e7. Knight can take that pawn on a7 for free, and he took it. Now that is a check from Zan towards Joseph. It's a f4. It's a pawn f4, opening the line for the queen. And that one right there. Oh, that is a move. Right? That is the ballsy move from from Joseph. Bishop g4, and of course the pawn takes on pawn e3. This may be possible. It may be possible for Zeni to come back for this game. So we shall see. Zeni has 2 minutes left on his side, and Joseph has twice the number of what Zeni had. So now Joseph moves the knight to f1. It's gonna be a bombastic approach here. Knight f4 by Zeni, checking this king here. Checking the king here. Oh, and the king moves to f3. Big move there. Oh lord, that is checkmate there. So king f3, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, a checkmate. It should be a checkmate. I may be wrong. Am I wrong? Yes, I am wrong. So that is a queen towards that one. Oh, that's a lot of movement there. My apologies. So the king can take the pawn. That's the only way. And Zeni gained advantage. Just like that, Zeni just gains an advantage against Joseph right here. Yep. So that's to recap on, that is a king f3. So the queen takes that. King takes pawn on e3, and queen takes the queen on d1. The king takes, will say, why thank you, I'll take your knight on f4. And the queen just moves up to c2. Now the queen is spoiled for choice right here. The queen and rook moves to b2, and the knight is sacrificed. Oh wait, no, it's not the knight. It's the bishop sacrificed c1 there. And further checking the king. King f3, rook f8, checking the king. King g2, queen to b2. That was a free food there. This is really a big turn for Zenny and Joseph right here. So that is a lot of movement. So Zenny is just cleaning Joseph's pieces out. Zenny is now Zenny had 7-piece advantage against Joseph, and that knight is in danger because alright, that knight is literally in danger. King g2, queen a7, and the rook moves to g1. Queen a2, king f1, queen b3. Queen is trying to tackle the that one there. Ooh, bold! Such bold moves there. Such a move that that is a missed win. That is a missed win, ladies and gentlemen. Where he could have moved that down. Yes, takes that. Queen moves to b3. Queen moves to d3 instead, and checks the king. But it is alright. Now we go back to the original position. So we have that one there. Oh, this is going to be a stall. This is going to be stale. This is going to be stale. Stale? Alright, knight b4. King c5. King c2. Okay, king e2, king c3, knight e3. King d4. Knight c2. Okay, king c3, king d1, king d3. Oh, this is a big of a movement here. Knight e1, king d3, knight c2, king f3, king d2. Oh, alright. E3, d1. Movement there. Alright, f2. c1. King c1. What's next? Zen is losing on time. King f3, king d2. King f2. King c3. And takes on that one there. Oh, wait. Insufficient material. So it's a draw. Alright.
So it's a draw.
It's a draw. Alright. However, from the time, if we look at the time,
Yeah, I have 1 minute.
Obviously, Zenny doesn't have enough time to. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Okay.
Yo, I'm actually surprised that Zan is
Actually, you know what?
he's a smart player.
Actually, you know
He's a
what?
smart.
You know
What?
what? You know what? Because
Joseph wins.
Because actually, yeah, Joseph. Yeah, yes, Joseph wins because if Zen were to keep on moving the pieces anyways, right?
Yeah.
Joseph will still win because Joseph has a 1 minute 40 and Zen only had 5 seconds. So it's not the ending that we want to see, but it is an ending that is to be seen. Yep, Joseph won by time. That game was incredible. Thank you so much, Joseph, and thank you so much, Zen, for playing the game and to be here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You two have been posting it. So you two have been
Zen,
posting it. That was.
I'm gonna talk to you about this after the after this, I need to talk to you.
Right, no problem about it. So congratulations, Joseph. You have won a spot on the quarterfinals for tomorrow. Yep,
Hey,
yep. And
tomorrow, let's go.
thank you very much, Zen, for joining the game. You are an excellent competitor. Please keep it up.
Yeah, you're
You'll be
super
good.
good.
Yep, you'll be good. Alright, thank you very much, Zen and Joseph. Now, our next contestant would be Kuya Padoru against Danki Akatatsu. Alright, so let me just ping you guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, so next we'll be having Kuya versus Danki. Yes, now we just gonna wait for Kuya to join the VC. And if I'm not mistaken, Danki is already in the VC on standby. Yep. So we will be waiting for Kuya. Right. And just to recap, that was an amazing game. 2 games from Joseph and Zan. It was a very fun game. 5 minutes and 10 minutes, and both of them showed performance that has not been demonstrated for a very long time. It was very nice. Kuya is offline. Kuya, yes, Kuya is offline. It seems like Kuya, our contestant, is offline. So okay, you know what? We will wait for let's not wait for Kuya yet. Let's proceed to the next. So Kuya and Danki's game would be the last game then, because Kuya is not responding. So we will have to give him an advantage. You know, we gotta have to give him an advantage. I mean, he has all the right to, just kind of like, we give him every single way we can to help him to just proceed and have a fair game. So we're not going to wait for Kuya. We're going to proceed then. So Kuya and Danki's game would be the last one for tonight. So the next game is between Shadow Walker and Nat Elisa. They are in the VC here. Both of you, come on now. you guys have opened your mics. Yeah, right. So both of you are here. Right, two star individuals famous in the Yokikana server itself is Nat Elisa and Shadow Walker. So if you please, one of you invite each other to a game. Yeah. Who will invite who to the game? This is... Okay, so it seems like Nat has sent a link to Shadow. Now we just have to wait for them then. This is going to be interesting. Oh, 2 star contestants from Yokikana server, and we're going to see how they operate in chess, strategy game, board game, everything.
We starting. Also, if you're wondering, I am not fine.
Alright. Okay, so they are starting the game. I will mute in Discord now. Thank you very much. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the fight between Shadow and Neko will begin. You guys can start now.
Yeah, man.
Alright, so Neko has opened a ware opening pawn a4 knight c6. and now pawn c3, and pawn e6, and now a knight f3 and a knight h6. Both opponents are heated right now. Pawn h3 from Neko. Yes.
This is gonna be difficult.
So pawn h3, Shadow is taking his time to think. That is a good value from chess player. Take your time, think of your next step. So Shadow h6 on the pawn, and Neko d4 on the pawns, and Shadow g6 on the pawn. Alright. Shadow d6 on the pawn, and Neko h4 on the pawn, and knight g4 from Shadow, and it seems, alright, what has it? Alright, so knight d2 for Neko. So what has it that Kuya surrenders? Kuya surrenders on the chess tournament. We'll have to interrogate him for a bit. And queen f6 and pawn f3. So we'll see development so far. Shadow has taken out his queen for attack. And now, oh, that is a tight position for Neko's queen right there. Knight threatening the queen. Knight e3, and now queen b3. Okay, there we go. So bishop b7, rook h3, knight a5. Strengthening the position. Shadow strengthening his position on the left, on the top left corner right there. Queen c4, and the knight just took the queen c4. Knight takes the knight on c4, and the knight takes the knight on c4. Shadow is gaining the lead by 9 pieces because of Neko's one blunder mistake, and that is to move the queen towards such position. Actually, is it a blunder, however? It is actually a blunder. And now pawn e3 and bishop h6. On b3, bishop h6, pawn f4, and castle has been developed by Shadow. There is a very strong defense position right there on the top left. Rook f3. Oh my goodness. And a check from the queen h4. King e2. Shadow has a 10-piece advantage here. Shadow could win any time.
I'm gone.
Shadow moving his piece to d5. And pawn, Neko's pawn to g3. Shadow moving the queen to h2. Rook f2. Rook f2, queen g3. Queen g3 taking out the pawn right there. Shadow is gaining and gaining and gaining again in his position on pieces. Rook f3 right there. And there is a queen h2. A king d3. King d3 upon g5. Shadow is not wasting any pieces. Bishop d2 by Neko, and a pawn g4 by Shadow. That rook, oh, that is a fatal mistake from Neko. Neko just moved the rook to a2, not seeing the rook on f3, which is now taken by the pawn right there. Shadow gaining more and more advantage on pieces. And Neko just moved pawn to e4, bishop to a6 by Shadow. This brilliant move protecting the knight. Pawn to b3. The knight is now threatened further and further and further. This is really intense stuff going to happen here. And the bishop takes the pawn. Bishop f4. Bishop f4. And the pawn takes the bishop c4. The pawn takes that pawn c4. And the king cannot take that because it's because the bishop is protecting the pawn. The king cannot take the pawn c4 because the bishop is protecting the pawn. The king can only move here. This is the only way the king can escape this area. It's king c2. And from what I see, this is a big game over for Neko here, unless if Shadow made a fatal mistake. So that's the bishop d2. Yeah, that's the bishop d2. And the king b2. Oh my goodness. This is a massacre. It's a check. And now king moved towards a3. The queen moved towards g1. The queen is taking out the bishop on f1. This is intense. The activity is intense here. Heat flowing around here. Bishop towards e2 and the pawn towards f2. The pawn is moving for the promotion. The pawn is getting. Will Shadow took? Forgive me. Will Neko take the bait? So the pawn has evolved. The pawn has promoted to. Oh, that is the move. Oh, that is the move there. So the pawn takes. Oh, that takes. Oh, there's a lot of movements there. The king takes that piece there. King takes. Oh no, never mind. King takes nothing. Apologies for the brazen commentary. But the rook is now checking, and no, it's actually forking the king and the queen. It's rook b2, and there it is, taking out the rook. The queen has taken out the rook, and it's been taken out by the king, and now the queen is checking the king. Such bizarre happenings going on right now. It's just amazing to see such development to happen time and time again in this event. So many great fighters in this zone right here. Amazing. Right, and that is a move. A2, king a2, queen c3, and that queen has just evolved and has been taken out by the rook. And the bishop takes the pawn c4, and now the queen takes the bishop c4. Shadow is practically winning right now. Shadow having 28 piece advantage, and Shadow is taking out that one last pawn. Oh no, Shadow did not take the last pawn. He moves his king to c8 position. And king c2, rook b8 right there. Amazing.
I'm gone.
Play. Pawn e5. Pawn e5, and the queen takes the pawn e5. And Shadow has literally taken all the other pieces other than the king itself. So it's a 29 piece advantage for Shadow. It's clear the winner would be Neko, but can Shadow checkmate? It is a checkmate. It is a justified checkmate from
I
Shadow,
lost.
the winner. So the winner for this game goes to Shadow. Congratulations,
yeah.
Shadow, for this game's win. That was a very intense battle. That was a few places here and there, but nonetheless, that was a very intense battle there. So a sit rep right now. Let's see. So Shadow has now moved towards towards the quarterfinals, and sit rep Kuya is unable to join us tonight because he felt unwell and he decided to forfeit the game. And because of this, Donkey is well, it's not going to be a fair, fair distribution here. However, because Kuya has told that he wanted to forfeit the game, that means that Donkey deserves the right to be in the quarterfinals then. So congratulations, Donkey, for being automatically moved towards the quarterfinals. So the quarterfinals will start tomorrow. However, we still have a bit of time, and I would love to start the quarterfinal with a peace of mind, actually. So, Clyde, are you still there? Clyde, are you still
Yes.
there?
Yes.
Is it okay if we do our part of the quarterfinal today? I mean, now, tonight.
Sure.
All right. He said yes. All right. So we'll be starting the quarterfinals early. I mean, just me versus Clyde. Just
Okay.
me versus Clyde. So tomorrow it will be left Oshimiya versus Joseph and Danki versus Shadoka. So the top six who went to the quarterfinals is me, Clyde, Oshima, Joseph, Danki, and Shadow Walker. So congratulations to these people. Now we shall start with the quarterfinals
Okay, I'm gonna
for
pause it.
me and Clyde. All right, so Clyde.
I'm
Please.
gonna pause it here.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. So I will. Oh, that one is it? Okay. So I'll be starting now. I won't be commentating. Focus. Thank you very much.
May I commentate? Just kidding, unless. I can't. Uh, Standard 10. Okay. In a piece. Focus. Focus and let your mind move. There we go. Bow of defense right there. And we'll move this over here. 93. here, which the knight can go and run. Always compromise, no problem. Ah crap, I didn't see that one. Which isn't that? Move this one back. Yeah, lots of movement, definitely 100% lots of movement. Towards that area. I need to think about right now. There'll be no problem taking it. Actually equalize the battlefield. what should we do now? We're running out of options here, mate. Actually running out of options here, mate. Actually we're not, but just to play safe, just moving that one away. Okay. Take it. Now I just need to this one here. Hold on. So retreat for a bit. So the queen is out. Okay. Interesting, the queen is out. Didn't see that. My defense, I was taking something, so didn't really see that one coming. Which is not. Hot soil, hot soil. Oh, hot soil. Oh my gosh. Oh, hot soil. Actually, we should have taken that one first. Should have. bit tight here. Oh fuck! I didn't see. Shit. Ah. It was actually good though, because in any case, I try not to win. Just I forgot to connect my power bank as well. Hold on. Give me a second, please. Thank you very much. No, they won't give you a second. Not even once. Alright, so hold on. So it's better for me to not win because I actually aim to not win. So there we go. That one goes there. This one goes there. Okay. Yep. Remember bullet speed. Remember bullet speed. Remember speed, bullet speed, speed, speed. We're moving. Okay, there we go. It's a fork. Take that one. Take the bishop out. Okay, move. Keep moving. Keep moving. We still have plenty of time to think. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Crap. Break move. Break move. So what we're doing right now is to stall time actually. So we know that the power that I hold is literally just seconds. Now my time is up. My time is up. Okay. So now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Okay. We don't want our position to be compromised. So move, moving, keep moving, keep moving. Okay. Make a circle.
Oh,
Pachi.
wait, wait. It says draw. Nanikore.
Wait, what?
It says by timeout versus insufficient material. Oh, because I moved that one. Because I moved a lot of that one. Okay, never mind. So, I'm guessing.
Wait, what?
So, who's gonna win then?
I don't know.
I actually made a blunder because I actually made so many blunders because I was taking my power bank and everything. But tell you what, I'm gonna give you the win instead
Eh?
because I see how you take the opportunity when you saw the opportunity, you took it. You didn't hesitate, not even a single bit. So
Because I saw the time I be like, what? Oh shit.
so I'm
I don't think.
I mean, time management wise, maybe we have to work a bit on that. But I see how you went for the pieces. You don't hesitate. You just went for it. So because of that,
Yeah.
I'm passing the baton to you. There you go.
Arigato.
So, well, it might sound a bit biased for the audience in the other place. Like maybe you guys say I should win. But truth to be told, whoever the heck, whoever the heck uses, I need to take a power bank as an excuse, eh? So, thank you very much. It was a very nice game. Congratulations, Clyde.
Thank
For
you.
going to because you are now qualified to the semi-finals. So yes, thank you. Yeah, again, yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you very much. So
Thank
tomorrow,
you.
tomorrow we'll be having a match, a quarterfinal match,
Yes.
between Hoshimiya and Joseph,
Oh.
Hoshimiya versus Joseph, and Donkey versus Shadow. So it's going to be an intense fight, I would say.
Yeah.
Let's say it's going to
I
be
look
very,
it.
very intense.
I'm looking forward for the match tomorrow.
Forward for the match tomorrow, yes. Right, so we have so there will be so there will be three. So there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there will be 6 matches tomorrow. Let's look forward for it. Thank you again. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming to the stream, and thank you so much, you guys, for yes, yes, you will be fighting tomorrow. So you'll be fighting tomorrow on unless you two want to fight today. That's the choice. There's a choice between Donkey and Shadow. Would you like to have a match now, or would you like to reserve a match for tomorrow? Okay, Donkey says he's feeling sleepy, so it's alright. We give you a chance. This is unbiased. This is that one. Yeah, we'll give you a chance for practice for tomorrow, right? So everything will be done tomorrow, yes? So again, thank you very much everyone for coming to the stream. Thank you for participating in the Yokikana Anniversary Chess Tournament. And thank you to those who are watching on stream. And have a good night and